Welcome back to 𝗧𝗥𝗜𝗟𝗧𝗛. In today's video, we're stepping into one of the most powerful financial moments in history, the generational wealth transfer of 2026. Now, before you think this is just another economic prediction, let me stop you right here. Because what's coming is not just about numbers on paper, it's about a massive shift in ownership, influence, and opportunity that will shape the American economy for decades to come. For US viewers, this is especially important. Why? Because the United States is home to the largest pool of privately held wealth in the world, and much of it is concentrated in the hands of baby boomers, a generation that has not only accumulated significant financial assets, but also built businesses, acquired properties, and stored investments across every possible sector. According to leading analysts, over the next decade, more than $70 trillion in wealth is expected to be passed down from the older generations to Millennials and Gen Z. But here's the key point. 2026 is being marked as one of the tipping points, a year where wealth transfer policies, tax reforms, and market shifts will align in ways that could open hidden doors or close them for those who aren't prepared. Think about this. Millions of family-owned businesses across the U.S. are currently run by aging boomers who will soon retire or pass away. These aren't just small shops. They're manufacturers, real estate developers, farming operations, and tech startups. When these businesses change hands, there will be winners and losers. Some companies will thrive under new leadership, while others will collapse, leaving behind valuable opportunities for buyers, investors, and entrepreneurs who are paying attention. If you're someone in the U.S. looking for the next big chance to build wealth, this moment in history is literally writing your roadmap. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Why is 2026 so unique compared to earlier years of wealth transfer? Well, a few things come together at once. First, we're entering a period of economic uncertainty. Inflation pressures, shifting interest rates, and rapid technological change are rewriting the rules of finance. At the same time, younger generations who will inherit this wealth don't think about money the same way their parents or grandparents did. Boomers and Gen X were focused on stability, buying homes, building retirement savings, and holding on to assets. Millennials and Gen Z, on the other hand, are more inclined toward investing in experiences, startups, green energy, and digital assets. That means when the money changes hands, so will the flow of investment. Entire industries could rise or fall simply because of this change in mindset. And here's another overlooked piece: government policy. By 2026, we may see significant adjustments in estate taxes, capital gains taxes, and inheritance rules. Politicians are already debating how to handle the trillions of dollars moving across generations. Will taxes increase on inherited wealth? Will digital asset transfers like crypto get stricter regulation? Or will policymakers create incentives for small businesses to survive generational handovers? Each decision has the power to create either a wave of new opportunities or barriers. For U.S. entrepreneurs, freelancers, and investors, this is the time to pay attention, because small legislative shifts can create massive openings for profit if you're early. But here's the kicker, and this is what most people don't realize: this wealth transfer isn't only about families and inheritance. It's about society itself. When trillions of dollars move from one group of people to another, everything changes: housing markets, job markets, the stock market, the startup ecosystem, even philanthropy and politics. Imagine what happens when Gen Z, the most tech-savvy and socially conscious generation, suddenly controls billions of dollars. We're likely going to see a rise in impact investing, sustainable businesses, and digital-first platforms. This means that opportunities won't just be in traditional industries like real estate and banking. They'll also explode in industries like renewable energy, AI-driven automation, health tech, and online education. let's bring this down to the personal level. If you're watching this from the US, ask yourself, am I preparing for this change? Are you learning about the industries that are likely to benefit? Are you positioning your own business or side hustle to align with these new wealth flows? Or are you just planning to sit back and hope for the best? Because here's the reality. Those who plan early will benefit the most. Whether you're an investor looking to buy undervalued, real estate before it gets passed down, or a freelancer ready to serve the needs of new wealth holders, or an entrepreneur preparing to acquire small businesses that will be sold off. This is your chance to get ahead of the curve, and I want you to think about this carefully. In the 20th century, people who saw technological revolutions early, like the rise of the internet, the boom in personal computers, or the growth of e-commerce, were able to build fortunes. In the same way, the generational wealth transfer of 2026 is a revolution. It won't come with headlines shouting, "New opportunities here." Instead, it will quietly reshape the US economy, and only those paying attention will grab hold of the right doors as they open. So, in this vlog, we're not just going to talk about inheritance. We're going to uncover hidden opportunities that most people are ignoring. We'll look at the industries likely to surge, the businesses that will quietly change hands, and the ways ordinary people in the US can position themselves to capture value from this wealth wave. And by the end of this video, my goal is simple. I want you to walk away not just informed, but equipped with ideas you can actually act on before 2026 arrives. Because here's the truth, wealth doesn't just transfer, it transforms. And when it does, the question is, will you be ready? All right, now that we've explored how the wealth transfer of 2026 will unfold, let's get into the part that really matters for you, the hidden opportunities. Because while the headlines will talk about trillions moving between generations, the truth is only a small percentage of people will actually seize the wealth-building possibilities hidden inside this shift. And if you're watching this vlog from the US, you have the advantage of preparing now before the rest of the crowd catches on. The first big opportunity lies in real estate transitions. As millions of properties change hands, younger generations inheriting homes will face big decisions: keep, sell, rent, or redevelop. Many heirs, especially Millennials and Gen Z, won't want to manage multiple properties or live in areas where they've inherited land. That means a wave of listings will hit the housing market. For real estate investors, this opens the door to buying undervalued homes, flipping properties, or creating rental portfolios. Even for regular people, this could be the chance to buy your first home at a better price, especially in regions where heirs sell quickly. If you're in real estate as an agent, property manager, or developer, positioning yourself for this surge could be life-changing. Second, there's a massive opportunity in small business acquisitions. Baby boomers own millions of companies across the US, and many of these will be sold because heirs don't want to take them over. Think about businesses like HVAC companies, construction firms, auto repair shops, and even restaurants. These are cash-flowing businesses with established customer bases. For young entrepreneurs, instead of starting from scratch, you could buy an existing business, modernize it, and scale. With financing options like SBA loans and private equity, this is a realistic path for ambitious Americans who want to build wealth fast. In fact, analysts predict that by 2030, we could see the largest boom in small business sales in US history. Third, let's talk about technology and digital platforms. Millennials and Gen Z inheriting wealth are digital natives. They're far more comfortable managing money through apps, fintech platforms, and even blockchain solutions than their parents. This means there's a huge growth opportunity for companies building wealth management apps, robo-advisors, estate planning platforms, and crypto-based investment tools. If you're a developer, entrepreneur, or investor in the US, creating or backing digital-first financial solutions could put you right at the center of this trillion-dollar transfer. Now let's move into investment sectors poised for growth. The way wealth is spent and invested will shift dramatically as younger generations take control. Industries with strong future demand include green energy and sustainability. Inherited wealth will fuel investments into renewable energy, EV infrastructure, and sustainable businesses because younger generations are passionate about climate action. Healthcare and longevity tech. As America ages and as younger heirs invest in innovation, biotech, telemedicine, and healthcare, startups will explode in growth. Artificial intelligence and automation. Gen Z and millennials already embrace AI, so expect capital to flood into AI-driven startups, automation, and digital labor-saving tools. Education and online learning, with a mindset focused on self-improvement and skill building. There will be massive spending on online education platforms, training programs, and upskilling solutions. If you're a freelancer, business owner, or investor, aligning yourself with these industries now could mean exponential returns when new wealth starts flowing in. Another overlooked opportunity is in financial services. Think about this, trillions of dollars are about to move, and most families are not prepared. They need advisors, estate planners, accountants, tax lawyers, and wealth managers. For professionals entering these fields, demand will skyrocket. If you're in college right now or just starting your career in the US, consider shifting your focus toward financial planning, estate law, or tax consultancy. You'll be in the right place at the right time, serving families who urgently need guidance. But opportunities don't end with money. There's also a cultural shift in consumer behavior. Millennials and Gen Z spend differently than boomers. They prioritize experiences, travel, digital lifestyles, and socially responsible brands. So, as they inherit money, expect growth in industries like travel services, eco-friendly products, digital entertainment, and direct-to-consumer online brands. If you run an e-commerce store or plan to launch one, tailoring your business to these values will help you ride the wave of inherited spending. And here's another hidden gems: impact investing and philanthropy. Younger generations are not only inheriting wealth, they're inheriting responsibility. They want to invest in ways that align with their values. That means more money going into ESG, environmental, social, and governance funds, social enterprises, and charitable giving platforms. Entrepreneurs who can combine profit with purpose will attract both consumers and investors. For US innovators, this is a golden chance to build businesses that do well financially while also doing good socially. We should also consider job market opportunities. As new industries grow, they will create millions of new jobs in areas like green construction, AI development, healthcare, tech, and financial planning. Even if you're not a business owner, you can still prepare by acquiring skills that match the industries set to benefit from the wealth transfer. By aligning your career with these shifts, you'll ensure long-term job security and higher earning potential. Another important angle is real estate redevelopment. When heirs inherit properties they don't want, many will be open to selling them for redevelopment. This creates opportunities in construction, urban planning, and even short-term rentals like Airbnb. The younger generations tend to favor flexible living arrangements, so properties could be converted into multi-family rentals, co-living spaces, or vacation rentals. This is especially powerful in cities where housing shortages exist. Opportunities will be massive for those who can repurpose inherited assets. And let's not forget innovation in digital assets. While traditional inheritance involves land, stocks, and businesses, we're also entering a new era where crypto wallets, NFTs, and digital holdings are being passed down. This opens up demand for new platforms to manage, transfer, and secure digital wealth. If you're tech savvy, creating solutions in this space could put you at the cutting edge of the next generation's financial ecosystem. Here's the bottom line. The generational wealth transfer of 2026 is like a giant reset button for the US economy. Wealth will move, markets will shift, and entire industries will be redefined. But the hidden opportunities are not obvious. They're tucked inside business sales, consumer behavior changes, digital platforms, and new industries rising from the values of younger generations. If you're prepared to think ahead, act early, and take calculated risks, you can turn this once in a lifetime wealth transfer into your personal wealth building moment. Now that we've set the stage with the big picture, let's break down how this wealth transfer in 2026 is actually going to happen and why it matters for every American watching this vlog. Because understanding the mechanics behind it is the key to spotting opportunities before everyone else does. Let's start with the basics. When people hear the phrase generational wealth transfer, they usually think of parents leaving money to their children through wills or inheritances. And yes, that's part of the story. But in reality, the process is far more complex, and in the US context, it involves three massive pillars of wealth: real estate, retirement accounts, and businesses. Together, these categories represent the bulk of what's about to change hands. First, let's talk about real estate. Baby boomers currently own the majority of housing wealth in America. From suburban homes in California to farmland in the Midwest, they hold titles to millions of properties purchased decades ago when prices were far lower. As they pass away or downsize, these properties will move to younger generations. Some will be sold, flooding the housing market with opportunities for buyers and investors. Others will be inherited directly, meaning Millennials and Gen Z will suddenly become landlords, homeowners, or sellers. And here's the hidden angle this could trigger: regional shifts in housing markets. For example, younger heirs might not want to keep family homes in smaller towns. They might sell and relocate to big cities, creating price drops in some regions and surges in others. If you're watching from the US, this is a market trend you can track to position yourself early, whether as a buyer, investor, or real estate agent. Second, consider retirement funds and financial accounts. Trillions of dollars sit in 401(k), IRAs, pensions, and investment portfolios. When these accounts transfer to heirs, the money won't just sit there. It will move. Millennials and Gen Z are expected to reinvest differently than their parents. Instead of conservative bonds or traditional stocks, we may see more money flowing into tech, green energy, healthcare innovations, and even digital assets like crypto and blockchain-based funds. That means certain industries could receive massive boosts in capital, while others lose favor. If you're an investor or even just a small business owner, following where this money flows could be one of the most profitable moves of the decade. Third, and perhaps most important, are businesses. Across the US, millions of small and mid-sized companies are currently run by boomers. From construction firms to restaurants to local manufacturers, these businesses are the backbone of the economy. But here's the challenge. Many heirs don't want to take over the family business. They may lack interest, skill, or simply prefer different career paths. That means countless businesses will be put up for sale, merged, or even closed down. And for entrepreneurs, this is a once-in-a-generation chance to buy established businesses at fair valuations, modernize them, and scale. Imagine acquiring a 30-year-old company with loyal customers, upgrading its technology, and doubling its revenue. That's the kind of opportunity that opens up during wealth transfers. Now let's add another layer: taxation and legal frameworks. In the US, wealth transfer doesn't happen without government involvement. Estate taxes, inheritance taxes in certain states, and capital gains taxes all influence how much wealth actually passes on. Right now, There's intense political debate about adjusting these tax thresholds. By 2026, we could see new laws that either increase or reduce how much heirs keep. For example, if estate tax exemptions are lowered, more families will look for estate planning services, trusts, and tax advisors to protect their wealth. That creates an entire service industry around this transition. An industry where financial planners, lawyers, and accountants will be in higher demand than ever. If you're studying finance or law in the US, this could be your golden career path. But here's where it gets even more interesting: consumer behavior shifts. Wealth doesn't just move, it transforms spending patterns. Baby boomers have historically spent more on traditional goods, housing, cars, and healthcare. Millennials and Gen Z, on the other hand, prioritize experiences, digital lifestyles, and sustainability. So when trillions move into their hands, we could see surges in industries like travel, entertainment, online education, renewable energy, and tech-enabled services. If you're building a business today, aligning it with these preferences could position you perfectly for the wave of new wealth holders. And let's not forget the stock market effect. When large numbers of assets move from older to younger generations, portfolio strategies shift. For instance, older investors typically prefer safer, dividend-paying companies. Younger generations are more open to high-growth, high-risk investments. This could tilt the market, creating bull runs in sectors like clean energy, AI, and biotech, while slowing growth in industries like fossil fuels or traditional banking. Smart investors who anticipate these shifts will benefit, while others who stick to outdated models may lose out. To put it simply, the generational wealth transfer is like an earthquake in the financial world. The ground beneath us, the ownership of assets, the flow of capital, the direction of industries is about to shift dramatically. And just like in an earthquake, some structures will collapse while others will rise taller and stronger. If you're aware of this and preparing today, you can position yourself not just to survive the shakeup, but to thrive in it. But here's the part nobody tells you: not everyone will benefit. In fact, many heirs may actually lose wealth due to poor planning, high taxes, or bad financial decisions. Studies show that inherited wealth often disappears within just 2 generations. That means the opportunity isn't just for the heirs, it's for anyone who understands the landscape. Entrepreneurs, freelancers, advisors, investors, and even skilled workers can all find new ways to plug into this economic shift. So as we move into 2026, remember this: the wealth transfer isn't just about money moving from parents to children. It's about an entire economy being rewritten. The people who succeed won't be those who wait for it to happen. They'll be the ones who anticipate it, study it, and act on it before the rest of the world catches up. So as we bring this discussion to a close, let's step back and look at the bigger picture of the generational wealth transfer of 2026. We've talked about the size of this shift, the way it will unfold across real estate, businesses, and investments, and the hidden opportunities that most people will overlook. But the question now is, what does all of this mean for you personally, right here in the United States? The truth is, a financial transition of this scale doesn't come around often. In fact, experts call it a once-in-a-lifetime event. Never before in modern U.S. history have we seen such a massive amount of money, property, and business ownership being transferred from one generation to the next in such a short period of time. And when that much wealth moves, the ripple effects touch everything: housing markets, job markets, consumer behavior, tax policy, investment flows, even cultural priorities. It's like pressing the reset button on the American economy. For individuals, this reset means 2 things. First, if you're inheriting wealth, you'll need to prepare to manage it wisely. The biggest mistake heirs make is underestimating the responsibility that comes with wealth. Many people who suddenly inherit money end up losing it within a generation. Why? Because they lack financial education, discipline, or proper planning. If you're one of the millions of Americans expecting to receive assets in the coming years, now is the time to learn about financial literacy, investment strategies, tax planning, and wealth preservation. Wealth is not just about receiving, it's about keeping and growing. Second, and more importantly for the majority, even if you're not inheriting directly, you can still benefit from the ripple effects of this transfer. New industries will rise, new jobs will be created, and new business opportunities will open. You might not get an inheritance check, but you can still position yourself to ride the wave. You can invest in industries that are attracting generational capital. You can buy undervalued real estate when heirs sell quickly. You can work in fields like financial advising, tax law, or tech startups that will thrive because of the new demands created by inherited wealth. In other words, the wealth transfer isn't just about the heirs. It's about everyone smart enough to adapt. And here's something even more powerful. This wealth transfer isn't just about money. It's about values. When millennials and Gen Z inherit assets, they're not just going to replicate their parents' choices. They're going to invest and spend in line with their own priorities, sustainability, technology, diversity, and experiences. That means if you're building a business, creating a service, or designing an investment portfolio, you need to align with these values to capture their attention and capital. The winners of the 2026 wealth transfer won't just be those who inherit, it'll be those who anticipate and adapt. Now, let's get real for a moment. Most people will hear about this wealth transfer in the news, nod their heads, and then go back to business as usual. They'll say, "Oh, that's interesting," but they won't take action. And years later, they'll look back and realize they missed one of the greatest financial shifts of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. If you've been watching this far, it means you're already thinking ahead. You're already curious. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of the crowd, but curiosity is just step one. The real difference comes from action. So what should you do right now? Here are 3 powerful steps. 1, educate yourself. Start learning about estate planning, financial management, and the industries most likely to benefit from this wealth transfer. Knowledge will be your biggest asset in the coming years. 2, position strategically, whether it's in your career, your investments, or your business. Align yourself with the sectors that will grow as wealth changes hands. Real estate, green energy, healthcare, tech, AI, and financial services. 3, act early. Don't wait until 2026 headlines announce trillions have moved. By then, the biggest opportunities will already be taken. The time to act is now, whether it's buying a small business, investing in growth industries, or building your personal skills to serve a changing market. And remember, this wealth doesn't just flow, it reshapes. It changes the structure of society, the way industries operate, and the way individuals live. Those who prepare in advance won't just watch history happen, they'll profit from it. So as we wrap up this vlog, here's my challenge to you. Decide today whether you'll be a spectator or a participant. Will you sit on the sidelines and watch others capitalize on this wealth transfer, or will you prepare yourself to grab the opportunities when they come? The choice is yours, but time is ticking. If you found value in this video, here's what I want you to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling me which opportunity excites you the most. Are you looking at real estate, business acquisitions, tech startups, or maybe financial services? Let me know. I want this channel to be a community where forward thinkers like you can share ideas and grow together. And don't forget to share this vlog with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. Because wealth transfer isn't just about you. It's about building a smarter, stronger future for everyone connected to you. This is more than a video, it's a call to action. The generational wealth transfer of 2026 is coming, whether we're ready or not. The real question is, will you let it pass you by? Or will you use it to build your future? Thank you for watching 𝗧𝗥𝗜𝗟𝗏 blog. Stay tuned, because in upcoming videos we'll go even deeper into specific industries and strategies that can help you make the most of this historic moment. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay ambitious.